Hey, Coach Colin Castell with Shot Mechanics Basketball, and welcome to another episode of the Ask Coach C series, where you ask the questions and I give you the answers. Today we're going to learn about your dominant finger, we're going to talk about how important lift is, and we're going to talk about if you're getting to your set point too early.
Alright, so first question comes from Jaden Stapler, and he wants to know, how can you find your dominant finger? My index finger is my straight finger, but it's uncomfortable and I'm too small. My middle finger is kind of crooked, so it kind of messes up the release. Should I be a piece shooter?
All right, so good question to start us off, and this is something that a lot of people struggle with. Now, as far as shooting goes, there's really three different releases that you can use. You can use your index finger release, you can use your middle finger release, or you can use a split finger release. So basically an index finger means just the ball's on the center, or your index finger's on the center of the ball, and as it comes out of your hand, that's the last one to touch it or guide it towards the basket. Middle finger does the exact same thing. Middle finger in the center of the ball, comes off, last one to touch it. A split finger is where you have a split in both fingers just like that, and you place the V in the center of the ball, and it comes off both fingers at the same time. Now, as far as which release works best, it kind of just depends shooter to shooter. Some people are great index, some people are great middle, some people are great split finger. What I would do is I would look at your fingers quite a bit. If you've got a really long index finger, that might be the one to use. If you got a really long middle finger, that one might be the one to use. If they're about the same length, then maybe you probably be a split finger shooter. But for the most part, what I do is I try to get film of myself or people that I'm working with. So if I can get a close-up film and watch their hand and watch how the ball comes out of their hand, a lot of times you can figure out what naturally you are, and then you can shift your hand position to match. So let's say I video myself and I notice that the ball's always coming off my index finger, but it's not in the center of the ball. We know that we have an issue, right? So instead of trying to become a middle finger shooter, what you can do is you can simply just take your index finger and scooch it over so it's in the center of the ball when you're holding it. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but once you do, you're gonna be lights out.
All right, so the next question comes from Everett Fitzgerald, and they want to know, hey Coach C, how important is the lift you get on your jump shot?
All right, so great question about lift, and this is something that a lot of people are confused on. Lift is not important at all if you have a smooth one motion shot, meaning that you're generating the momentum through your body and into the basketball. Guys like Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, those sorts of dudes generally have one motion shots, and so they don't need much lift. Where you do need lift is if you have a two motion shot. Guys like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. If the ball's coming back before it goes forward, generally you need that extra lift to get that extra force to get the basketball from you to the basket. Now, I wouldn't recommend a two motion shot. Generally those guys are huge athletic freaks, so they can make it work. So for the most part, you're gonna wanna have a one motion shot, and the lift doesn't really matter. If you watch the best one motion shooters in the world, generally they don't get that much lift. And it's just kind of more of a comfort thing rather than anything. So lift's a little bit overrated. I wouldn't worry about it as much as generating or transferring the momentum through your body into the basketball.
And the next question comes from Razi Mancarella, and he wants to know, I have a problem that I have is when I reach my set point on my jump shot, I'm still bending my knees, and I believe that I'm losing momentum. Should I be concerned about this?
All right, so this is a phenomenal question. I'm really glad you asked it, because the more I study jump shots, the more I think that this is a big problem, especially with younger players, right? They get so obsessed with trying to hit that triple 90 or getting it to the set point that it gets there way too early. So as their knees are bending, the ball's coming up to the set point. Instead, you want to have what I call a delayed set point, meaning that you want the ball coming up to your set point as your knees are extending into your jump. So generally, I like to think about it as the ball should reach your set point or up by your forehead or chin or chest, wherever it is you shoot from, as your legs are beginning to lock out. So not when they're completely straight, but just as there's a tiny little bend in your legs as you're getting ready to jump, that's when the ball should hit your set point. That way everything will be smooth, everything will be in rhythm, and you'll generate that energy through your body into the basketball towards the hoop. It makes it a lot easier, so make sure you get that delayed set point, and it'll help you out a ton. All right, don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section down below, because that's where I get them all from. Also, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. That way you get all our videos as soon as they come out. Also, if you're new to Shot Mechanics, you're gonna wanna click the button up here or the link in the description, get a free copy of my top 3 favorite shooting secrets. These are shooting secrets you can plug directly into your game and probably increase your shooting percentage in the very first 10 minutes. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castell with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Splash on.